Hello, beautiful beings. How is everybody today? Um, wow, this live came around pretty quickly. And yesterday I only just came good. It's been an incredible time of really deep purging. And it's very interesting that there's many people around who are having very similar symptoms in relation to this purging. Now, just give me a moment. I just want to get these up because I want to interact with those beings that are watching on YouTube. Okay. Now, so if you're jumping on, feel free to share this. And we will get into it soon. When I was getting on here, I wasn't sure exactly what I would be talking about. I never am. Here we go. I've got it. Be talking about. I never am. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So if you're jumping onto YouTube, say hello in the comments and where you're watching from. But I was slightly disorganized, so this isn't going out onto all my posts, my socials, as lives. Like I said, it's been an incredible time of purging, and for over a week I was out of it with the flu. And then I've just been purging and making space for the new. So that's kind of what I wanted to go into right now, actually, I'm being told, is this whole purging and this Earth's ascension. Now, collectively, we are all going through this ascension. And like, if you're like me, and I know everyone feels this, you feel kind of like, are we done yet? Like, seriously, I've been suffering, I've been healing, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And it's like this, it's just this, are we done yet? Now, there is an infinite amount of imbalances that impact us, that affect us, that keep us fixed and locked into separation. It's just the way that it is. And we need the knowledge and the power and the tools to return to wholeness, right? Now, within these avatars, these vessels, there is a lot of things that block the energy and cut us off, right, from source. We are all source. We are all connected to source. But what happens is these low frequencies that surface to be released, they block that deep connection in which we can have. Hey, Dee. So it's look, for since the last live, it's been okay. So the word trials and tribulations, the words trials and tribulations are coming up. And for the longest time, I've been in this frequency, just over it. It's like, I've just had enough. I've had enough. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, right? Because these low frequencies that do not serve my highest purpose are surfacing. They're surfacing within my field for me to be released. Now, I'm blessed to have the source code to be able to release these guys, but still, when we sit in that symptom or that suffering or that, I'm just getting this emotional pocket. Is that what I'm getting? It's like a bubble. I'm getting the word bubble. But that isn't us, okay? So we really need to dig deep. And I did this like a little TikTok the other day because I was just at my wit's end. It's like, I've had enough. I'm just sick of it. Like, I just want to feel good. I just want to reach a point and just sit there and have a rest for a minute and stop this healing and this purging and this. Yeah. So if there's any healers out there, yeah, I'm sure you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Because these things are surfacing in us, whether we like it or not, because Earth's frequency is increasing because of what source and what this crystal collective. And all right, let me have some water. Just because of the ascension cycle, it's happening whether or not. So we need to understand that everything that we're suffering right now isn't us. It's these things that are surfacing, right? And we become these, like we be, right? I'm just getting the word being. So when I address you guys, like I'll say beautiful beings, because right now your consciousness is in this avatar and you are being this character this time round, right? In this incarnation cycle. So these frequencies within us that we've incarnated with, that we received from our ancestors, that we absorb from the collective, like we be them, like those frequencies are within us. So we are being that particular and operating at that frequency, if you know what I mean. So when we feel absolutely worthless, and that, our abundance still hasn't come in, like we've been healing for years and years and years on that subject, we just want to be free. We want to be able to stand in our light and serve, and it's still, you're still not, it feels like you're just not moving forward, or you're just making these small, tiny little shifts, right? This is because these things that no longer serve need to be released. And there is an infinite amount, because it comes down to, we are so many things. We are the universe. We are the cosmos, right? Our core is the center of all that, right? So this energy, I'm just getting source living light. I'm just getting living light. Okay. Because ultimately, and this is a new insight that good morning, beautiful. Oh, hey, Anita. Yeah, so just let me, because I'm still purging. I'm really sorry. And it's funny, like when I do these lives, like you see how the end, because we move in these cycles, right? And our monad cycle, it's like this 28-day cycle, this wave, right? And this is why it feels like a roller coaster, right? Our incarnation here. It's why, we're on top of the world one day and another day we're down here. And it's like, and we know when we're down at that rock bottom point that things are only going to go up. It's not just a saying. It's literally like what this ride, this incarnation is all about. It's this self-growth, this self-development. And as long as we are, like, we can just have no understanding, no control, nothing, and just cruise through life, right? Or not cruise through life, but but to integrate to New Earth, it's like this golden key, and to access that frequency of that golden earth, that new earth, you need to raise your frequency, and you need to gain control, right? On the Ascended Master's path, on the 12 tree grid, this is literally about activating your rainbow body of light and your Merkaba, right? Constructing or uncovering your Merkaba, right? To, embody that Sophia, that Christos, right? That divine masculine and feminine. And like, it's a very specific path. And this is all about self-mastery. And Yeshua or Jesus, this is what he did. This is what other Ascended Masters have done. And their stories have been taken and distorted. There's many false programs in relation to many masters, many teachers, right? But that's how the matrix works. So we need to strip away all that fear and all that that fear of the deception that has happened, and we need to go, okay, well, what does the new earth have to share, right? I've been on this journey and I've accessed these higher realms where I can share this with you guys, and that's what I want to do. That's how I serve. I'm not perfect. I'm very raw and uncensored sometimes, because this journey is, I'm just getting the word authentic. This journey is authentic to you and who you are, like everything that you are. Like a lot of it, the divine essence in which you are, your crystal avatar is the one that's guiding you, that part of you that dwells in that oneness. And we are all unique and we are all beautiful, and we all have these very, with these personalities, right? These personalities. This is all about journeying to the absolute self, right? And raising your frequency, shedding those frequencies that are not you. Because this is the problem in the matrix, right? This matrix, this separation, this creation from this being, we are all playing a role in this being's creation, right? And now is the time in this ascension cycle that it's like, hang on. Like that one being has created this, and we have all been fooled. We have all been tricked, and our minds have been used against us, and we are creating what we don't want, because we are divine, beautiful beings. Like we know how this world should be. Like we envisage this perfect world. Like when I was a kid, it just used to confuse me, because like, why, if everyone just thought the same, right? And operated from the heart, like why is the world the way that it is? Why are people so mean? And there's many beautiful beings, light workers, healers, indigos, that have been shit on their whole lives, right? Used and abused, misunderstood, judged, ridiculed, laughed at, called crazy, and it's because we aren't of this world, the old world matrix system. We are very highly evolved beings that have come through to create, to transform, and bring in this new earth frequency, simply by shedding our own shit, right? Because when we operate and we go within, when we heal, we shift the reality outside ourselves, okay? So, I mean, it's very simple. It's absolutely simple. So we need to get this knowledge out, right? So we need to get this knowledge out. So please share this in any spiritual groups, or for those groups where, like, one of the most recent things that came through was the fact that when my life shifted, I began healing. Like I started doing my Reiki level 1, level 2, my masters, whatnot. And I was led like these stepping stones to these different things. And this is the way that your Christ avatar, that part of you, that your absolute self, right, is guiding you, right? It takes you on these little paths, and it can be very difficult for beings. Like there's so many beings here that are divine beings, but the path they get taken off path, right? Because it's just the way it is, right? And it's just based on frequency. If you will notice, there's people that have been traumatized very early on in life, and that trauma attracts all these other low frequency experiences into their life, until they're just so low frequency that they can't handle it anymore, and this word suicide, it's just like, this world can be very, very difficult for people. And yeah, or that you know, the addiction, right? Addiction, because that trauma, those emotions, those feelings, they create our reality. And the fact that when people have been traumatized, they're operating from these low frequency emotions, because it's all about this heart and this mind. And I mean, it's just horrible, right, to see what's happened. I've lost a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've lost people, right, who I had a very strong connection with, like this soulmate relationship. And spiritually, even though I wasn't really, like, spiritually, there was a bond and I could not explain, right? And now when I look back and the lessons that I have received, you know, up until this point about those people, you know, and what actually happened to them, it's very sad, because they were these powerful beings that have come here. And the path, okay, so we're talking about the path, right? The stepping stones, the path. It's like I'm being told, like, do you remember when you were a kid and those choose your own journey books? I used to have a book on, like, a little kid's book, and it was Alice in Wonderland. And you got to choose the story and you got to walk the path, right? In the book. So you could choose, like, you would read the story, you'd start the page, you'd read the story, and then it gave you choices. And it's like, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I'm pretty sure that's how it went. And then you would go to a different page, and you ultimately finish the book based on the choices that you made, right? So that's what I'm being shown. Okay, so it's like, and that's okay. So now I'm being told to go back to me, right, and my journey and the stepping stones, and how my self-discovery and mastery journey began when I started healing. Prior to that, you know, I was just in the matrix, working, getting up, looking after kids, going to work, coming home, cooking, cleaning, repeat, right? And yeah, started my healing journey. Became certified in emotion code and body code. And then I started putting my own twist on things. Now I know it was my absolute self, my Christ avatar, who was guiding every single second in relation to that. And it's like pushing me to do more, pushing me to do more, right? Like when I think about releasing one frequency at a time, that is extremely, extremely limiting. When I think about paying someone to do healing in any old world, you know, matrix program, healing program, it's like if people only knew what they could do, like and the new earth tools, right, and is incredibly powerful. There is nothing in the old world matrix system that compares to it. It's a complete new bracket, right? And this is something that anyone can do. So what I've done is I've opened up my Patreon, where every month, like, because my frequency is still rising, because I continue to purge, I continue to become energetically stronger. And now I'm at that frequency where I can support other beings, right? Previously, it's been very difficult. Been a very difficult, dark 3 years. But now I'm sort of getting my foot in the water and opening up a space and giving the beings that join powerful, powerful, powerful healing, right? It doesn't compare to anything that I used to do. It is, oh, I can't even explain, right? So so what I've been told just recently is it's a okay. So the other day, the other week, the other week, I don't know. I had when I had the flu, right? And I was in bed and I kept getting Christ all. Christ, like KRYST, like Christ all. Christ all. I'm like, what the hell is this, right? And eventually I got that answer. It's like the crystal collective. Oh no, I didn't get the collective then. I got that the other day. It's like the Christ. Let me have some more. I'm getting extremely blocked. So if you're watching, please comment, say hi, tell us where you're watching from. Just interested to know and see who's connecting, because just because, like, this new earth is all about connection, right? And collaboration, connection and collaboration. And I'm just getting the word connection, connect, the co. Okay, anyway, so I was getting the crystal, and I'm like, what is that? And it's like it's our absolute selves, the part of us that dwells in that crystal frequency. And there's so many lessons about the crystal and the crystal core, and this template that have there's a long story in that. So this is the crystal frequency, right? So this is all our absolute selves, our Christ selves that dwell in this oneness. The way that I've seen that oneness is this blue orb perfection. It's just beautiful, and it's the part like where we are all one. Like there is no separation. It's the absolute, like it's just wholeness. So I'm sharing this information. Like, this is the thing. For the last 3 years, I have been raising frequency. And when I raise frequency, I access more clarity, more truth, right? More wisdom. And I keep healing and purging. And I am on this lesson plan, like my Christ avatar, my absolute self, the part of me that dwells in that oneness. It's like a lesson plan. It's like these big textbooks, and I have to go with the plan, and I need to receive the source code to be able to input it, to be able to release that on autopilot. And all these new source codes come through, and I need to be able to input it, to release it, to move up. So it's like this, like the amount of code, and it's quite overwhelming. And the amount of source code that I've received, because if you can imagine the fact that, like when I say there's an infinite amount of imbalances in this cosmos, like it is infinite and it is never ending. And I spend 14-hour days receiving code to input it so I can then clear it. So this is like a biological program. This is a program for the avatar, right? For this avatar to free itself from all the binds and the ties to the matrix, right? This is about detaching from the matrix, right? And releasing those attachments to that matrix. So in my Patreon, this is something that we are going to be going into. Like I said, the amount of code that I have is very overwhelming, and it's like I would love to be able to create a computer program that that has all the code in it. But the amount of code that I have is overwhelming for me. And what I get told is, Nadine, just be in the now and just do what we're telling you to do in the moment, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't go say that you want to create a program and do this and do that. And this is a lesson plan, Nadine, right? This is, it's all planned out, right? So don't let it overwhelm you. Yeah, easier said than done, but you know what I mean. But this is the thing, there is an infinite amount of code, and beings do need to know. Yeah, that's it. I'm just getting ahead of myself right now, but it's all about the knowledge is what I'm told, and beings knowing what the obstacles are, and knowing that what is within, but that will come, like that's what I'm being told, that will come, and when the time is right, that will be shared, right, with my members, right, because this is all about this universal giving and receiving, the universal laws, the natural laws of giving and receiving, and honoring ourselves, right, and investing in ourselves and healing ourselves, raising our frequency. Now, what I'm really excited about is there's so many healers out there. There's so many, like, I'm just going to say Reiki, emotion code, body code. There's so many other healing modalities out there. There's people who do meditation. With this frequency that is accessed in the Patreon, it will, and together we're going to explore this, because, okay, so this is coming from your crystal self, right? Like, your absolute self has brought you this far, right? And I'm being shown those stepping stones, and you've been taken, like you've been born into this world, you've incarnated, and you've been taken on this ride, right? And you have made choices, and everything that you are and that's happened so far is based on your frequency, right? But what I'm shown is these stepping stones, and I'm shown this line that goes to this crystal. The word crystal castle came through, and then I saw this crystal castle, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. But anyway, to this oneness, right? So this line. So okay, so this oneness and the light beam, because you're a light beam. But this it's sort of, it goes like that, because we are on this cycle. We are a monad, right? We are on this cycle, and there are so many things that have control over us, and you know, it doesn't move as smooth and slow, like as smooth and, I don't know, you think that would just be nice and relaxing and just feel, oh, but it's not. It's like, you know, we are, there's so much truth, right? And there's so much beauty in the information that I have access to, but there's just so much of it. It's very difficult. But what they're trying to illuminate is the fact that these stepping stones, you incarnated, you've been on this path, these stepping stones, these stones, you know, you've been thinking of things like in your life. I know personally, like when I wanted something so bad and I felt it, and it's like if I'm going for a rental house or something in the past, and I would see this house and I'd be like, that's mine. I want it. I need it. I just, you know, and I would see myself in it, and then I would get the house, and certain big landmark things in my thing, like they were just divine, you know, and it's like, wow, I'm blessed. Like I really wanted this and I got that. But then there's other things that we will, you know, really want and we don't get. But they've got this different feeling to them, like a different charge. But anyway, we are, okay, so what are we talking about? We've got to keep an eye on this time, because we have our members Patreon soon and I need to prepare for that. Okay, so how long have we been going for? I can't tell. Okay, that's all right. Because I could just talk all day, like when I get into this. Okay, so sorry, it's just that I'm getting this new thing in relation to the stepping stones. So we're on these stepping stones, right? But then I'm just shown, like, I'm being shown that line. So like, it's like you are a light beam, you are source, right? And you've incarnated, and everything that you've experienced in this reality is based on your frequency, right? So to shift and to alter and to gain more control, we need to heal, we need to raise frequency, right? And we need to understand what is possible, because guys, what is possible is absolutely freaking magical. And that's what we share in the Patreon. And like, I'll get on here and I'll do these monthly lives and whatnot. But what this membership is about, it's about beings connecting as one. So sitting in that frequency of oneness, this crystal frequency, and discovering what the hell we need to do together to shift reality. Because right now there's only a few people who have access to this frequency, right? So but it's meant to be like that. Like, nothing is 0 to 100. This is a gradual organic process, and although very frustrating for myself, because I know what is possible and I know what I can share, like, with others. You know, the masters have been using these ascension tools, and they are discovering just exactly what is possible. It's this organic unfolding. So the Patreon is that outlet that you can plug into and receive this crystal frequency. And so you can see exactly what you are capable of, right? Because this is all about bringing this frequency to free beings, right? So they have more control over this reality. So they can use that crystal frequency, that frequency from source, to, I'm getting recreate, like, to take that frequency, right, and create. This is all about alchemy and just shifting, transforming. This is all about transfiguration. This is all about transmuting. This is about us working as one to pull the earth out of the darkness, right? For this golden crystal frequency. It's interesting because the crystal frequency I see as this blue light, right? But then, okay, so it's different timelines. Okay, so, and there's different frequency colors. This is all, and it's been very difficult over the last 3 years, because as I'm raising my level of consciousness and entering these new gateways to these new dimensions, they all have a particular color to them, which is very interesting. So it's actually really beautiful, because I'm just getting some new insight, because there was something that didn't click when I said crystal and then I said golden light, and I'm like, hang on, like, because so I just had to question that. So basically, we are healing on every level, and we are pulling light. I'm seeing this rainbow. I'm going to have to explore that more. That's very interesting. Because right now there's so many different timelines playing out. Because, like, on this ascension journey, and like, the one thing that I get told all the time is this is hell. Okay, this is hell. And based on your frequency, like, you are at a particular level or layer of hell. When I was working with level 1 to level 7, I was working my way through those rainbow, those spectrum colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blah, 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 blah. And it was like I got to level 7 and then it was the rainbow, right? So I'd worked my way through all those spectrum rays, those rays, and then level 7 was the rainbow. And that's when things started getting galactic-y, and when I was going through lessons in relation to this, I think it was last year, it was like shown this the earth, and then I was shown these layers, and this core was like this red hellish type frequency, very dense and heavy. And then what I was told was, you've literally dug your way out of hell, and that is why it has felt so hellish. And you know, you've got to that level 7 and you've got all those colors under your belt, and then have you guys seen that Pink Floyd prism with the rainbow and the light beam and that spectrum? Anyway, that was the symbol that was given. You know, so these colors turn into this light beam. So it's a journey, right? But we are all in hell, and that is why we look around and we just can't there's so many beautiful beings, and you guys are awake and you see the deception in the matrix, and it's like, what the fuck are people thinking? Like, but it's this trap, and we have created this, and by us looking out at our reality and made the simulation, by us looking out at this simulation, we are seeing, I'm just getting this mirroring of the collective consciousness and where we are at, right? But it's not our fault, because we have been taught the wrong way. We have been taught the way of the darkness, to create for the darkness, right? That is why when we look out at this reality, there is so much darkness, and there is so much deception, and there is just so much shit that doesn't make sense, right? Because we are these beautiful light beings, and we know what's right. You know, we have these feelings. We are these empathic beings who operate from the heart, who have always operated from the heart. And the traps that have been set up in the matrix use that force against us. You know, it's very interesting how it happens. And we've been absolutely victimized, but we're not victims, okay? When we have the knowledge, and this is why, you know, I encourage people to share this, because this knowledge, this new earth knowledge coming through, this crystal frequency knowledge coming through, is from that part of you that dwells in oneness. It's from that part of you that wants you to return home, right? And you can only do that through healing, right? You can only do that releasing and by accessing this crystal frequency. Because what's happening now, there's so many beautiful light workers, healers, and whatnot, who are fixed in the matrix, and no matter what they do, there is programs that keep you limited, and that light that you have, it's being taken and generating, getting generator? No. Okay, and it's a generator for the darkness. Okay, so what we need to do is get as many people as possible into this new earth frequency, into this crystal frequency, where it's literally like a computer program. It's okay. So the old world matrix system is a program, right? We think of this incarnation, your consciousness has come into this avatar, this body, this vessel, right? Think of Fortnite, think of Roblox, right? Think of those games where your consciousness, where your mind plays a character. This is exactly what is happening in this reality, right? You incarnate your consciousness comes into this avatar, and it's programmed, right? And this is the thing, on this journey I have had to see how this program, the old world program, works to be able to create the new world program. So I've over 3 years now, I've received all the source code and these lessons from source, from this crystal frequency, from my absolute self, and I've had to learn the hard way. Every single, not every single, because there's an infinite amount, but I've been taken on these lessons and I've had to build the program, right, to be free of, you know, the programs of the past, like the programs that the mate is contained in that matrix. That's how we detach, and that's how I, you know, anyway, this is sort of stuff that I would love to share in the Patreon, because the journey that I've been on is our journey. Like, for those people who want to have that deeper knowledge of who you are and to access your truth and to heal like you've never healed before, and to use everything that you have accumulated, everything within your consciousness, in this life, in other lives and whatnot, like you have this wealth of experience. And if you are like me and, you know, you resonate with certain things that I share about myself, yeah, it's just this there's so many beings in this reality who operate from the heart, right? Who have other people's best interests at heart. And they tend to ignore themselves, right? And we have there's many characters in our reality that come to us, and they are highly negative, highly nasty, these people, right? But these people are just illuminating where we are not free, and they are illuminating things within us that we need to release and purge. So the journey to New Earth, to become God's sovereign free, we need to use those characters in our reality, right? To how can we help? How can we heal? And we're coming to this time where this knowledge will you'll either resonate with it right now, or you won't. If you resonate with it, please invest in yourself and join our Patreon so we can discover, right, together, and we can heal together, and I can empower you. You know, this crystal frequency is incredibly protective, right? And this is what these beautiful empaths, these light workers, these healers really need. You need to be able to be in this. I'm just seeing this, like this, what I'm seeing is this 12D shield. It's like this, it's just like this tube, like this really futuristic tube, with the Metatron's cube on the bottom and the Merkaba at the top. And it's like this, it's like this. That's what I'm being told to share with you guys, you know, because I want to protect as many beings as possible, and I can with this frequency. We can, okay, so it's like we can protect one another, because as these beings gravitate to this Patreon, the more that is standing in this light protected, right? And together as one, we are exploring ourselves. We are exploring and just getting beyond the veil. And we are using this frequency to assist us in our life, to assist us in our healing. And this is why it's going to be really amazing and magical when we have people from different healing fields coming together and them using this frequency to in their modalities, their current modalities, because this is the intention of this God source. This is the intention of this crystal frequency. Like that, the solution is there. We have access to this force, and what we need to do is we need to stand in this light, right? And we need to be, because this matrix program has you in a trap, right? It absolutely has you in this trap, and everything that you do, you're limited, right? And you have no control over like you could, right? Because what's happening, these frequencies within you, you are in this frequency that you think is you, but what you are is something far more powerful. All right. So it's just the way that it is, and people may not resonate with that because they're too fixed in these matrix programs, and that the way that this program works, it scatters, it shatters, it fractures the ego and the mind and the consciousness, right? There's so many energetic blockages, so not just in the body but in our consciousness, that keeps us separate, right? Because we are mind, we are pure mind, we are the one eternal mind. And this wisdom that I share in this Patreon, this frequency that I share in this Patreon, like, it's not just, like I say, it's not just an everyday Patreon. This is like a healing portal where you get extremely powerful healing, and together as one, we get to explore this frequency and what it means. Like, I don't know everything, right? My students, the masters, teach me things all the time, right? Because we have been connected as one. And every time, like for years, when I've done Facebook lives to my masters, we have learnt brand new things and made huge shifts, right? So this Patreon is exactly the same model, right? When beings join this Patreon membership, right? And I talk about this Patreon membership because it needs to be talked about, right? Because this is how we can shift and transform and learn ourselves, learn who we truly are by anchoring this crystal frequency, right? And using it, pulling that energy through to whatever we want, right? Clearing low frequencies. This is a powerful self-healing program, right? This Patreon, because you are getting access to this frequency to use it however you wish, right? And all right, so what this frequency is it's truth, right? Yeah. Okay, because the matrix is based in deception, based in separation, right? What the New Earth and what this Patreon membership is it's like truth, right? And wholeness. Okay, so we have these two worlds in existence right now, and depending on your frequency, like everyone is in the matrix, right? But this New Earth program and this crystal frequency is to support you to, it's like this bridge, right? It's this bridge to New Earth. So it's very hard to explain, but it's all about frequency, right? And it's all about raising frequency. And it's about using all the experience that we have within to connect as one to shift this reality and to fucking save humanity, right? Because right now it's like the depths of hell. There's beings who chose to be here, right, to do this, and this is the tools to do it, right? This is the knowledge and the tools and the frequency to assist you. And everything that you are, everything that you've studied, everything is key, right? Because it's all about us and our unique keys, right? Because Nadine doesn't know everything. Nadine came here to do this, to freaking birth this program, to share this frequency with beings, so they together, for all of us together as one, can use it. And with these unique keys that we each hold to unlock something amazing, right? Because there's only so much I can do, there's only so much you can do, but together as one in this frequency, using all of our different experiences, healing, raising frequency, we are going to anchor, we're going to pull so much light in. So in this Patreon, there's a key, like there's a really important thing that I want to share with everyone, right? And how to anchor as much light possible. As always, I never know what I'm going to get on and teach, but this is what I've been told that. Like, it's like, okay, so you're going to teach people how to use this frequency. You're going to teach people to heal like they've never healed before, right? You're going to teach powerful beings, right, who are like warriors, right, that have been on the matrix, like the amount of amazing people I see out there, right, standing in their light, serving humanity, you know, sharing knowledge, and you know, healers, you know, helping others, serving others. Like, when those beings have these tools, they're going to be so much more powerful. And everyone has their own unique way. And on the new earth, that's what is encouraged, being you, right? Discovering your truth, your purpose, to unlock your mission here. You know, there's so many beings who you may not even be practicing right now, right? But there's certain things that you'll resonate with, certain connections you'll make in watching these videos, right? But yeah, this is all about finding those beings, those chosen ones, those ones that chose, right, to be here, giving them the tools so they can stand in their light and not be we just want to wipe all those matrix programs within that trick us into giving our light away, right? There's and that's it. I'm just getting, there's so many beings out there right now that will be watching this, and we need you, right? We need you to access this frequency so you can assist, right? So collectively, this is all about this collective, it's just all about this collective thing, right? And sorry, I'm just keeping my eye on the time. And this is about our collective growth, us releasing those matrix attachments to be who we truly are. And I think I'm going to leave it on that note. So there in the description, there is a link to the Patreon. We will be starting that in about half an hour. And we're going to see what comes up. We're going to see what Source needs us to know, what Source wants to teach, because yeah, this is it's just this moment in time where these gates are starting to open, and the magic, like the truth and the magic shared, like your truth. Excuse me. And that's it. In connection, in this oneness, we are so much more powerful. So that's why when my masters and I, like, there's over the last 3 years, when we would connect in a Facebook Live, right? And this is it. Like, it doesn't matter if someone's connecting in the live stream or after the live stream, because there's no such thing as linear time. It's just an illusion, right? What is important is the fact that we are all connecting, right, as one. And that collective force is how we get higher level information. So right now I'm doing lives to my social right now, right? But when I do the Patreon, I'm in a much higher frequency, right? Because that Patreon has been created to, anyway, to hold that crystal frequency. So beings that join the Patreon step into this crystal frequency. And when beings are in this crystal frequency, we are all one together in this crystal frequency. So the information that comes through is so much more powerful. This is all about sharing that knowledge, this cosmic knowledge, so we can move into our truth, so we can move and align to source and be in our light, because it's all about protecting our energy field, right? And releasing those matrix programs that have been taking from us to create what we don't want, if you know what I mean. So anyway, this is just the wisdom, the truth that I get from my absolute self. But that's the thing. I am still a work in progress, right? We are all these we are masterpieces, but we are a work in progress. And we need to know ourselves if we are to truly ascend. But first and foremost, this is about protecting your energy, protecting your energy. Think of it like a healing session, a monthly healing membership, where every month you get powerful healing, and every month it gets stronger. And as more join, the frequency in which we hold gets more powerful. I'm just showing this ball of energy. And the more beings that join with their unique keys, the more force we have. So it's just, basically a frequency thing. This healing portal from this crystal frequency, where we get to discover and explore and learn. Because I'm just a messenger, and I just share what my fully evolved self has to share. But you guys all have this, fully evolved absolute self there guiding you. So we all learn from one another. Like, we are all one. And we all, just like that beautiful disco ball, we all have this amazing light to share. And in this connection as one, let's just see. This is just what I'm being told to tell you guys, right? So I'm very excited about that. And I've been very excited for months now, because I'm like, wow. So if we can bring people into this crystal frequency, and they use their experience from whatever walk of life you are from, like, you use your unique keys to heal, like, it's just amazing. And the new earth frequency, anyone can do it. Like, people that haven't even had any experience in healing before can access this, and I will teach you how to use this frequency, because it is so freaking simple. So we have simple instructions on how to use and harness and anchor this frequency and shift your reality, right? And then you have your experience too. And in the new earth, it's all about uniqueness and choosing your own path by using this frequency. This is how we shift and transform reality. Connection and anchoring, right? Connection and anchoring. I'm just seeing these neurons and these neural pathways, and it's being shown that that's what we are. That's what this cosmos is, right? Connection, this quantum field where, we are all one. We're all connected. But what we need to do is purge the darkness and the blockages between us, right? because in that quantum field, there's a huge amount of programs, a huge amount of blockers that block. That's it. So I'm seeing these neurons, these neural pathways, and those of us that connect in this Patreon, we are purging that. We are releasing the blockages between us. And I'm just seeing this bright, like I'm just seeing these neurons and these neural pathways. I'm just seeing a very sort of, yeah, they're there. But what I'm seeing is by this connecting and this anchoring, what we are doing, we're flushing the lines out. Because like I said, this new earth is like a computer program, right? We have been programmed by the matrix, right? We are fixed because we've been programmed. Simple as that. Got these fear generation programs, these programs that generate these negative emotions that make us, that keep us even more fixated. So what we have here is the new earth program, the new earth frequency, a program to purge, to release, right? To bless, and to raise our frequency, to contain ourselves, to have more freedom, to have more control, right? Yeah, so anyway, come and join us. The link's in the description. I'm going to get going because I need to prepare. But yeah, hopefully we see some new faces. But look, whoever, like, this is the thing. I don't know what we're going to do. So it's going to be very interesting. Because in my healing, in my purging, I've gone over time. I get deeper clarity into my truth and what I need to do next. So collectively in the live stream, I'm excited because I always learn new things. All right, guys, love you all. Bye-bye.